Hello everybody, today I'm going to be reviewing the National Geographic Kids graded reader books so that you can see if you'd like to add them to your home library. Now the concept of the graded reader books is kind of similar to I Can Read books if you guys have ever had them. It looks like they have everything from level pre-reader all the way up to level 3, which is fluent reader. And the books that I'm going to show you today are all from level 2 and level 3, so that's reading independently and fluent reader because that's the levels that my kids are at with reading. So we've got 9 books total. In the level 2 we have planets, weird sea creatures, and then in level 3 we have Mars, water, erupt, robots, wildfires, meteors, and war. There's a ton of different titles in these graded reader series books, so honestly you can go and pick whatever one that your child seems to be interested in. So for example, one of the earliest ones that we got was robots because one of my kids was really into robots for a while. These books are also quite inexpensive. You can get them anywhere from like $5 to $7 per volume, so they're very, very affordable to build up a library like this. I believe that my kids actually got a few of these at their school book fair. So then it may have been even cheaper, like, $4 or so per book. So very, very affordable books on a range of different topics. Looking inside at the level 2 reader, I'll try to give you a sense of how easy or difficult it is to read. The type is really large. They're not that much text per page. This is the kind of thing that if your child is learning how to read, maybe you can read along with them, and then they'll have a pretty good chance of being able to sound out a lot of those words. As with many National Geographic books, the layout is really interesting. They tend to feature a lot of high quality and interesting photography and sort of interesting visual layouts as well. At the end of this book anyway, there's like a little quiz so you can test what you've learned in that book. And so let's see how many pages total. It's 32 pages total, but different kind of activities on different pages. Not all reading, but some of it would be like the quiz activities and some of it would just be full page pictures. The size of the books themselves is all exactly the same. They are about 6 inches wide by 9 inches tall. So as you accumulate new ones, they'll all fit really nicely on your bookshelf in a very consistent way. Let's look at one of the level 3 readers just so we can compare maybe the difficulty of the reading level. As you can see on each page, the type is a little bit smaller and there's just more information being given. But as with the other ones, there's interesting photography and little sort of sidebars and definitions as well. Here's an interesting page on your body in space that talks about the effects of space travel on the human body. I thought this was kind of interesting that some of these books have an index towards the end, which, you could say it's not that necessary for a book that's only 48 pages long, but I think it's nice and kind of shows kids how to use an index, which will maybe be useful to them later when they're reading even longer books. So, I think this is a very affordable way to build a library about the natural world in lots of different subject matters. So you can go ahead and pick subjects that your kid happens to be really interested in. Like, maybe they're really fascinated by big cats, and then you could buy a book like Roar. Or as I mentioned, if they're really into robots, you could buy the robot book and see if they like it. One other thing I really like about these books is that they're so small and so lightweight that they're really great for traveling. So for example, if you're going on a long car trip or you're going camping or you're going in an airplane, you can easily take, 3 or 4 of these and stuff them into a backpack, and it's not going to take up much room and it's not going to take up much weight, but it's going to be a good amount of reading material on different subjects for your kids to read. Now, in terms of readability, these are all kind of fact-based and information-based, and you might think, well, the kid's going to read it twice or 3 times and that's about it. Actually, surprisingly, that hasn't been the case for my kids. I've actually noticed that they'll read them over and over. I'm not going to say they read them every day, but, after they've put this book away for a couple of weeks or even a month or 2, they'll pull it back up and sort of review the information in it because, again, I think they're like robots or big cats, so they're just kind of interested in looking at that information again. And so for that reason, I was actually surprised that these books have gotten quite a bit of reading, whereas I might have initially thought that this was a book that wasn't going to get picked up very often after it was read a couple of times. In summary, I like these graded reader books a lot. They're very easy to use, they're very lightweight and portable so that they can be great for travel. They're very inexpensive, I mean, relative to other books. As I said, sometimes you can find them for right around $5 a volume. So you can go ahead and buy subject matters that your kids, you know, will find very interesting, and that'll be an extra attraction for them to read that book. Pretty quickly you can build up a library that's going to be very easy to store in a bookcase, easy to stuff into a backpack. So yeah, I mean, why not try it? Try one of these National Geographic books, see if your kid likes it and if they return to it, and if they do, you can go ahead and pick up another one and start building a little library like we have. Okay, thanks and happy reading.